So here's the plan. I'm gonna break down all the info from the 3 brand new islands. Yes, 3 to the 28 cars. Yes, in fact, maybe more. All of that is coming to the Crew Motorfest, the direct runner-up and competitor to Forza Horizon. This game has not only already 2 massive scale islands, but they just confirmed the biggest update a racing game has ever gotten. We're talking NASCAR, we're talking RC cars, we're talking street racing, BMWs, but also exclusive information that no other YouTuber has talked about will be here in this video. Because some of the new stuff is actually locked, as in pay locked. But they didn't announce that themselves. Instead, what's going on, boys? My name is Sid. I did the important research for you. These first few things are important because everything you're looking at right now, this is going to be added in 2 weeks. Yeah, two and a bit weeks. The timeline I will also run through because there's a lot to explain there. But here we get our first brand new car in the Street Racers playlist. This is the BMW E46, the specific BMW that's also the one from Need for Speed, or at least the less... it's not the GTR or whatever the Need for Speed one is. But that's actually not the next available car in-game. If you don't already own it, you can right now go in-game and get the BMW M2 for free. Literally just logging onto the game. Then, new to the game, Wednesday, as in this coming Wednesday, is going to be this thing, the Aston Martin Vantage 2024. This is just going to be in the shop. Anyone can buy this immediately on Wednesday. And this is all still before the next update, because after you collect this exclusive version of the Lotus, there's then 2 weeks left, and it's at the end of this week that ends November 5th. That's when the next update starts. And that's when this playlist drops, the first of the 2 playlists, a Street Racers playlist. It's also gonna add, again, in 2 weeks, the new tuning, the new stancing, where you're able to widen your tire fitment. You're able to drop your cars, finally. As they go forward to show us these new branded rims, we also get our first look, we get a clearer look later, of another brand new car, the Volkswagen Golf Gen 1 in the background there. Both of these cars, in shot right now, are going to be included in the Year 3 pass. We'll get to that. But here we get a look at the new stancing feature dropping in 2 weeks. This is going to be available on, as far as I'm aware, any car that allows it. You can see the options we're given are to raise or lower the car, are to wide body the car, but obviously if you lower the car too much, you can see that you can't then put the car out to a certain amount. So it's actually thought through stancing. People complain about the stancing here. I think what happens is the guy recording this footage doesn't save. He stances the back. He does like a copy front stancing to the back option and then doesn't hit save. But then we get to also see the brand new rims. We'll have Ivory Tower official ones, OZ, HRE, and BBS rims as our first few starting rims. And they finally confirmed what we've wanted for a very long time, material. You will be able to change the material of your rims. And they're showing off all the HREs. Whoa. I wanted to, there you go, there's the OZs. Then they show off the HREs. They don't show us the BBSs, unfortunately. This playlist is going to be available for everyone straight away on November 5th. The specifics of this playlist are an underground racing scene with stanced cars, with a very cool new race style that I think at least is a flare-to-flare style. There's no waypoint on the map. There's no route. There's no arrows. You just go to the next checkpoint by seeing the flare in the sky. So it's everyone in the city racing point to point. The vibe of it all is just crazy cool. I cannot wait for this street racing playlist. Finally, it's literally explicitly said that it's outside of the festival. It's not festival street racing like Forza's is. It's actively, hey, we are doing this separately, not in the festival. Presumably there will also be other types of events, the regular checkpoint to checkpoint events as well, featured in this playlist. After this very sick looking drag race to the finish with a stanced Porsche convertible, we then also get a much better look at not only just more of the vibes, but the Golf right there with a lot of the customization that it's gonna have on. This version of the trailer doesn't show it, but then we get the BMW trailer. As far as I can tell, 2 months into this next update, we will then be getting a BMW playlist. A specific playlist going through the different BMW cars. The vibe on this also looked very cool. Of course, they went to the actual BMW, well, I don't even know what you'd call it, showroom, I suppose. This has so many new cars as well. In fact, I have to just read them off of a list. The base M2 that we saw in the street racing playlist, the E46 that was also there, but then we have the M2 CS, the M4 CSL, the M3 CS, the BMW 3.0 CSL, which is this race car. And speaking of race cars, we also have the BMW LMH Le Mans hybrid car. Whoa! The hybrid, as well as the E46 from before, that thing's also year 3 pass. Now, when I say these are year 3 pass, you don't have to worry because you will still be able to buy them just like a week later. There's only 2 cars that are locked to the year 3 pass, and we'll get to that later. But outside of the cars, this is just a BMW playlist, so we don't have to stay on this for too long. But we do get good looks at some of the new cars, like the M3 CS, the M4 CSL. Now, the trailer does move on to talk about the race creator, but I'm gonna leave that for a second, because we're staying in what's dropping this next update first, because there's even more dropping in just 2 weeks. So we talked about the stancing, we talked about the branded rims, the Crew's launching on Steam Deck on top of that. I don't really care about that, I don't have a Steam Deck. But a ranked PvP is going to be coming to the game. Not only will this allow us to see what the actual routes coming up are in-game, but also there will be rewards every single season. I've seen some people complain about the rewards, but to be honest, it's a double-edged sword, because if the rewards are too good, then the casuals, of which there are way more, will be very upset that those rewards are locked. But with those rewards just being noticeable, like brand new, unique name tags that you will be able to see when you're in the grand race, and people will be able to notice, but the casual player might not care as much, those kind of rewards are the better option here. You can even freeze your rank if you want to go into the grand race and not have your rank affected. Maybe you want to throw or do something or spectate or mess around, or just specifically choose which races you want to count in your rank. Every season, new rewards. Now, I've got the best thing to take us from this next update, Season 8, to Season 9, with NASCAR, RC cars, and the race creator, and that's the Year 3 pass. This is also where some exclusive information that you guys don't know is gonna come in handy. This is the Year 3 pass, the starting lineup. What is the Year 3 pass overall? Well, it's 20 vehicles. Those will be dropped monthly throughout the next year, starting November 5th. But people have complained that the Year 3 pass is too expensive, especially for not having a playlist. Fellas, the Year 3 pass is gonna have a playlist, and it's gonna have even more than that locked. This is, of course, an extra purchase. It's about 30 euros for 20 cars and a playlist, which is a fair bit of stuff. And all of this starts like now. In 2 weeks, the November drop, that's the November 5th date that I said. The BMW M3 E46 and the Mercedes AMG GT60. I don't care about this thing. This thing's just a newer version of a Mercedes we already have. This is probably the worst thing out of everything they announced. These two are whatever. These will just be available for everyone else to buy, but you get them free in the pass. What we need to talk about is the other 3 cars. The 12-cylinder Ferrari and the Zenvo Aurora Agile will be locked behind the Year 3 pass. You will only be able to get these cars if you get the pass. This isn't a new thing. They did this with the Charger Red Eye Hellcat, they did this with the Chevrolet Chevelle, they did this with the police cars and the police playlist. But that should factor into whether you buy the pass or not. Then, the Cadillac CL concept. This thing, we don't actually know if it's going to be available to everyone just yet. But if you already own the Year 1 pass or the Year 2 pass, either of them or both, and you buy the Year 3 pass, you will then get the Cadillac CL Concept Hypercar. This is a hypercar! And presumably, that will also be November 5th. All of this is November 5th. 5 cars for November 5th. How nice. Then we get to the other cars releasing throughout Season 8. In December, we will be getting the Pagani Imola. Now, it's got road tires, so I would assume this thing is gonna be a hypercar. So that drops December 3rd. But dropping January 7th is going to be that BMW hybrid. This is because the playlist drops then. The BMW playlist should be a January thing. Then we've got the Volkswagen GTI that you'll also be able to get 2 months in. But it seems the new system is 5 cars at the start, but then 1 car every month, but on playlist months, 2 cars. And we finish off this update dropping February. Specifically February 4th is the Shelby GR1 concept. What the hell is even that? And that will be the final car of Season 8. But we do know some cars that we're getting in Season 9. They didn't show us, but most definitely the first car that's going to be in the year 3 pass for Season 9 is going to be a set of NASCARs. Because NASCAR is the main playlist available for everyone on Season 9. So obviously, everyone will be able to buy the NASCARs. Something to note about the NASCAR playlist is that an article on Traxion with Ivory Tower says that it will feature every team and all the races from last year's season. In fact, let's talk a little more about the NASCAR playlist. They also confirmed that pit strategy is going to be really important, as this isn't just another pro racing playlist. The events for the NASCAR playlist will be 10 to 15 minutes long. They are actually giving it that endurance vibe with pitting, with 10 to 15, which is basically like an hour long for today's TikTok brains. They also confirmed that the NASCARs will be getting their own physics, own camera modeling. Everything will be fully unique for NASCAR in the NASCAR playlist. And the NASCAR playlist with NASCARs will be dropping about May 4th. Alongside, by far the best trailer they did in this whole thing, the Race Creator. The Track Forge, as it's called in game, will be dropping that same day, May 4th. Some more exclusive information, it will be included in the summit. Race Creator races will be in the summit. Now, we don't know how that's gonna look yet, if that's gonna be, probably to begin with, by Ivory Tower ones, or if they're gonna start putting the best of, like, actual players' races in the summit. But essentially, more things making the summit more unique, I'll take it. This is a better look at the Track Creator, but okay. I said 3 islands at the beginning of this. Let me explain why I'm standing on business when I say 3 islands. We're gonna have to loop back. This is island number 1. This one seems a lot more like Forza's Hot Wheels style, right? They've got the hovering tracks, but one thing to note is that this island is also going to feature the NASCAR Racing Stadium. So this isn't just a Hot Wheelsy island, it's also going to have one big chunk that's going to be a big serious racetrack. But yes, this is island number 1, way smaller than other expansion islands that we've got. Noticeably. But it comes with a lot of the gimmicks. It comes with the whooshing speed boost things that we saw just then. It comes with the magnetized road that Forza does, I think. Here it is, the magnetized road driving upside down. And here on the finishing shot of it, you can see the NASCAR stadium at the very end. You can see Maui there. You can see how it connects to Maui. And behind my camera, you can also see there it connecting to Oahu as well by presumably an underwater tunnel as it just stops in the middle of the water. Somewhere over here for Oahu, and connecting to this, the Kaiwi Islets, around here somewhere. But these islands are important. This one is called Kaiwi. This one is called Ao. This is, in the real world, the name of channels that run around some Hawaiian islands. But they renamed these islands a little while back. Notice, a big round island and a big straight island. Near Oahu and Maui, well, that's Molokai and Lanai. These 2 islands here. That's what these islands used to be called. But then if I go back to the Race Creator, you can see, as they show the actual in-game footage of the Race Creator, an island right there that's then shown to be quite long, and you can see Oahu in the distance. what double confirms it for me is that that's the big island. That's the big, like, the one that we saw in the trailer, the new island that they're actually promoting over there in the distance. Meaning, that's Island 1, that's Island 2, and then we get a look at the other side with Island 3, meaning the crew is adding Molokai, Lanai, and their fictional island. But to note, Molokai and Lanai are completely barren. In real life, they do have roads, airports, actual stuff on them. They don't seem to have anything on them in this. So they seem to just be for the race creator. So instead of one big island, it's 2 blank ones for race creating on, and 1 big in-depth one. This is all gonna be free for everyone. And now this is where I break some hearts. Except for the RC cars. Dropping May next year, the RC cars will be year 3 pass only. This was not made clear, and I had to dig and do some research. The RC car playlist is gonna be only in the year 3 pass, just like the police playlist was locked only to the year 2 pass. This finally totals out our vehicle count. As the RC cars, we have the 8-ball, which is the one we see at the beginning. This little guy, which would, to me, look like a Summit one, because it's got the cool little guy in it. I would assume it's the Summit one. Then we've got Trick Shot. We've got the number 34, over there, the off-roader one with the little off-roader tires. And the one that just drove past was the Comet, the one we're looking through the hood view of right now. 4 different RC cars. But in this article, they confirmed that only year 3 pass holders will get the RC car playlist. The only RC car that everyone else will be able to get is gonna be one that's gonna be platinum in the Summit, meaning the weekly competitive, where you have to get the most points every week on 9 events. If you come top 15,000 in that, you will receive 1 RC car, which will then, probably about 10 months later, go into the Prestige ticket store, which you can get by just grinding the game. This is a good thing and a bad thing. Obviously, it's a bad thing because people weren't told this, so some people thought they were gonna get the RC cars, but are now finding out that they won't. But it's also a good thing because I saw a lot of complaints that the $30 price of the year 3 pass was too much without a playlist. This is the playlist that the year 3 pass is getting. So there is more in the pass. It wasn't just that barren. And gosh, do these things look so fun. I cannot wait to do hide and seek where 1 person's in an RC and 3 people are in hypercars. Oh my god, that was so much. There was so much! And a really cool extra thing that was confirmed in the article is that year 4 of the Crew Motorfest is already being developed, meaning season 10, which is the next season after the race creator and NASCAR and RC cars. That season's confirmed, as well as 11, 12, 13, which are the year 4 of the game. So 2027, year 4? I also see that as the last year that we will be playing the Crew Motorfest without knowing about the Crew 4. And presumably we'll do year 5 as the last year of the Crew Motorfest. That's my prediction. Thank you so much for watching. That's gonna be about it from me in a bit.